Hello Skutis friends, this is Henry from Skutis Corporation, and today we're going to show you how to change the motor of the street ramp by yourself. So the first thing we have to do is to make sure that the motor is off, the display is off. Just hold here the button for 3 seconds to make sure that everything is off here. And then we have to take off on both sides the handlebars. So we start here just by moving it to the left direction until it's off. So the third step you should do is putting your e-scooter on a normal high table with something soft below the e-scooter. In this case we use some old cloth is sufficient to make sure that you don't scratch your e-scooter. Okay, for the fourth step we need a hexagon socket with size 3, which looks like this. Alright, now we have to remove the LCD and accelerator as well as the electric brake, and therefore we are losing on both sides the screws here. Just a little bit, and then you can take both off. And we're doing that on both sides. Okay, so for step number 5, I recommend that you're folding your scooties now. You probably know how to do that. All the way down. Then you can either use a drilling machine like this, it's easier and quicker. If you don't have one, then you can use again one of those hexagon sockets, but in this case we need size number 4. And then we go to the top of the handlebar, and we have 2 screws here, which we have to open now. Then it looks like this. You can just take it away and put it on the table. Then you can also remove the center of the handlebar.
Step number 6, you unscrew this screw over here. And then you can remove it, cover. You can see the insides of the screw.
Next step, we have to remove the front light, and therefore we have to open these 4 screws. And again we are using the hexagon socket number size 3. Right now you have to slowly remove 4 different wires to unplug them. First of all, we start with the front light. Do it slowly and carefully so you don't damage the cables or sockets. That was number 1. Here comes number 2. That was the LCD and accelerator. Now we're carefully pulling out number 3, which is a brake. Number 4 is hidden over here. And that's it. For the next step, we have to screw out 4 of these mini screws. Therefore we need a 2.5 hexagon socket. This one. And you shouldn't use a drilling machine here because this is rather precision work. And we have to take out these 4 screws out of the 4 holes where we had earlier 4 bigger screws when we removed the front light. Go. Alright, for the next step we have to align the cables that we just unplugged. That means we have to straighten them like this. That's already alright, so we don't damage them, because now we have to remove this cover. Now be careful, while you're pulling it out you will reveal this metal part, and this will fall down if you don't put your hand below it or something else. Right, for the next step we are unfolding the Skutis again, and then we need a hexagon socket with size 3, or in this case we can also use the drilling machine with the same size again. And then we are going to remove 4 long screws from here above the folding mechanism. 2, 3, 4. We already removed 3 for the video. And now we are removing screw number 4. Okay, then it looks like this after we removed all 4 screws. For the next step we need again a 2.5 hexagon socket to remove again those very tiny special screws, 4 of them, but this time from the 4 holes we just opened above the folding mechanism. For the next step we have to make sure that the cables here are all aligned again, because now we have to remove the cover of the front bar. Therefore we twist it a bit in those directions to loosen it, and then we move it slowly up. What we are revealing here is the heart of our Skutis. That is the controller of the Skutis. Now we are bringing down the battery and the controller as well, slowly and carefully. Laying it on our table. Now we are removing step by step those cables that are still not unplugged. For example, this one. And this one. Also this one. That's it. So for the next step we need again 2 hexagon sockets. First of all 2.5 one, and secondly the size number 3 one. And we're using them to loosen 8 screws. The number 3 one is for the 2 screws below here around the front wheel. And the number 2.5 one is for the 2 screws up here, and we have the same kind of screws on the other side. Here 2.5, and here we need size 3. I'm now losing the last screw of the 8. Have a look here at the table. Here you can see how the screws look like. These are the screws from the top, the 4. Here we use size 2.5, and these are the screws from below. Here we use size 3. After we removed all the screws, we can remove the cover on both sides. Alright, now we have to loosen this screw and the same screw on the other side with a spanner of the size 3.
Free size.
3 size, and therefore we have to loosen the screw counterclockwise. Okay. As soon as it's loose, you can actually loosen it farther with your hands. And here, the other side the same, counterclockwise. But after we remove the two, or loosen the 2 screws around the front wheel, we need some more cable here. So we pull a little bit more out through this hole. Again, not completely, just a bit more. So that will be already enough. Now we want to remove the front wheel together with the motor, because the motor is inside between the front wheel. This might be a bit difficult, so this is why we need this rubber hammer. Please use a rubber hammer, not a metal hammer, otherwise you might damage something. And be careful. So what we are doing now is we are holding one hand below the front wheel to make sure nothing falls down. Then we hammer on both sides carefully. Here, it's also something where we can hammer. Here we go. That is the old broken motor.